I think there was a lot of discussion about complexity and simplicity, that simplicity isn't always simplicity, that complexity isn't always an evil. We saw in Ken's talk here at the end immense complexity. Now, it wasn't the complexity of generating precise survey quality city models, but of being able to represent multiple layers of abstraction and relationships with one another so that people could effectively make decisions. So I think that's something we have to, the KISS principle is a good one, but I think we have to keep thinking about what's the appropriate level of complexity to deal with given tasks. I hope that out of this week you saw why we titled the conference the way we did, that information sharing in cities is critical. It's not just a business opportunity. It is a business opportunity, but it's much more important than that, and I think it has significant implications for all of us. I think we also saw why Javier spoke about the natural world while we were in a conference that was supposedly focused on cities, because the interplay between those two things is critically important, both for the city as well as for the survival of the natural world and ultimately for ourselves. I think we had insight also into the difference that maybe didn't come across totally in Ken's talk, but I think it did in a significant way, between projects, which are like time-limited entities with specific deliverables that we use to manage our activity, and permanent, ongoing, evolving information infrastructure to manage the world, right, or manage our impact on the world. We do a lot of things still where we have a problem, we create a project to deal with the problem, and a bunch of documents get generated at the end. 20 years ago or 30 years ago, they got generated as nice glossy books and they went on a shelf. All right, today they become hyperlinked web pages, but they're still on a shelf. They're still static. There's nothing, in most cases, that's feeding into models that, change from one day to the next as the world changes. So we're still a long ways. I think the realization is there, but we're still a long ways from having permanent evolving infrastructure as opposed to documents. I think the task that all of us are engaged in, and that's why I think this conference is important, albeit it's a little conference, I think this stuff is important. I think bringing information together for more efficient design of our cities, of our global environment, helping us understand the connection between local actions and global consequences, as we saw in John Stutt's talk earlier in the week, helping us understand what those choices may be, because we don't have arbitrary control over all the different parameters involved. And maybe in the future, putting in place mechanisms that feed back those global consequences and constrain in some, hopefully democratic fashion, the actions that each of us take. And so issues like climate change, energy security, personal safety, our ability to interact with one another, all of these to me are critical issues that this group of technologies, I think can help address in some significant way. And I hope this conference can help change people's thinking a little bit. Ideas collide here and you develop a new way, each of you, which nobody knows, a priori or even a posteriori, what that will be. We do plan GeoWeb 2010. It will be here again. It may be in this room. It may not. We don't know yet. I again ask for your help. This year we introduced an academic conference component. It wasn't perfect. It was small, but it was a start. I think we understand the mechanism now to do that. I think next year we'll do a better job in terms of the correlation on time schedules. We'll try and work out a better formula by which people can mix between the different areas. I'd like to add an additional track in addition to the 3D modeling one we had this year, so I'd like to see that continue, but I'd like to also see one related to the sensor web technology. Partly because that drives us more in the direction of real time, it drives us more in the context of permanent evolving infrastructure, and because such information is critical to building, managing our urban and non-urban environments. So I'll just close by saying none of this can happen if you people don't come here. None of it can happen without your energies, your imaginations, your creativity, your contribution. And I will do my best to see that this is an excellent event next year. And the more of you that can join with me in doing that, the better event we're going to have in 2010. So in addition to the Olympics, which is a minor thing, I hope you will come back for GeoWeb 2010. Thank you very much.